Hello everyone, welcome back. Okay, I've brought in my Being the Shoke. This is one that I collected probably 6-7 years ago. I've airlayered it. I airlayered it 2 years ago and it calloused over, but it didn't send out any roots. So I airlayered it. I put the airlayer back on. As you can see, it's growing again, all on the top. I'll lift this up so you can actually see. So it's still growing like crazy on top and down below. It did the same last year, but then when I checked, there was no roots in there at all. So I don't know how it's managing to grow so vigorously. Now this year, alright, I have noticed that there's a couple of branches back here. Now it might be that they're away from the sun, or they might have just, there is a lot of branches coming off the actual, again I have to bring this up because it's a bit big this, there is lots of shoots coming out of the trunk part of it, so it is still all alive. You can see it's shoots here, but maybe just because that's not in the sun, because as you can imagine this is quite big, so it's kind of jammed into the back corner of my garden. The reason why I airlayered this is because the bottom here, the bottom half, it's got a kind of a bit of a twist on it. You can see that there. Then it came up to here, and then it kind of went at an angle. I'll have to show you now. It's at an angle coming this way, dead straight from there down here. Up here was dead straight, so it kind of looked a bit funny having this twisty bit at the bottom and a big long straight bit. So I thought the big straight bit would make a good upright tree, and maybe we can do something with this one down here. I've left these branches grow. There's only kind of a branch here and a branch here on the bottom. Probably end up having to take one of them off when the time comes, possibly this one, and keep this one and grow that as the tree. Put a bit of dead on the side or something, and hopefully the main part was trying to get the top bit off. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to prune it back, because as you can see it's just gone crazy and it's just shading everything out. Not as much on the top. I'll do a little bit of pruning, but not crazy on the top, but enough to let light onto this bit and prune some of this back a bit. And I'll check the airlayer. We'll just see, is it rooted at all this year or what. Even if it has, I'll probably just put the airlayer back on and just leave it till the tree's gone dormant before I separate it. But I'm kind of not got great hopes, to be honest. It was like this last year, and when I checked in, there was nothing. So we'll start anyway by doing a little bit of a rough pruning, just to, can't even see me scissors now in here. Sorry. Just to kind of take it back a bit. I don't even think scissors are going to be good enough for this job. Use me small pruners. So we'll just take back some of this long growth back here. I was kind of leaving it as long as I could to get plenty of energy to try and get the roots growing, but it's really starting to grow a bit too big now. So I'm just going to basically just hack it back a bit. Like that will work on styling the trees when we separate them. Is that another branch? Well, there is another branch at the back here. Just put it in now. So on the bottom part, I also have this, let's see if I can bring the camera, and the third branch here. You can see that one. So there's actually 3 branches on the bottom bit. But like I said, I'm not too sure what I'm going to be using until I separate it and I can actually see what's what with it. It's going to be hard to make a decision on that. So for now we'll just reduce it all back a little bit so we can have a look at what's going on. you see this side isn't getting the sun as much. There's a lot of buds still out, haven't even opened on this little branch here. This one is sending out shoots around the place, so maybe it's time to turn it around on the bench. Like I said, it's kind of shoved up into a corner because it's so big. I can't really have it on a bench because it's just going to shade out everything else on the bench. So again, I'll just hack this back a bit. I know ideally I'd rather leave all this growth on. It'll just help more with the root growth, but if it gets to the stage where it's too big to put anywhere, then root growth or not, it's kind of not much good to me. Okay, so that's kind of enough. I've got enough back now. I'm taking off a fair bit there. I may stick a few of them in as cuttings. They take, but we'll see. Just to maybe do a little oak forest or something one day with them. You never know. If they don't take, then it's cost you nothing. But they're normally the ones that do take, the ones that you don't really, not really bothered about. Okay. So let's open this. And let's see now. Another reason this might be so weak is maybe it has sent out roots, but the roots are all growing on this side because the pot is kind of leaned over and all the water will be coming onto this side. So let's see if we can open this up. We'll get a knife. Get me tape ready. This is maybe the third year this has been airlayered. Is it third or second? I'm not entirely sure. Not looking too promising. It's just all on the floor. Again, the seeds just no roots. No roots at all again. I cut really deep, like that's how thick the bark is and how big it's calloused over. You can see all the callus and this thing going on. How it's still alive and growing so well. Bring me in and have a look. You can see there, it's completely separate from the bottom. And you can see how lumpy and calloused it is. Over a bit so I can put this on here. People have said to me, why don't you just give up on it and just cut it off and work on the bottom half. But as you see, that would make quite a nice tree, that as a kind of upright tree. It's probably the back of it, but as long as it's growing, I don't want to give up on it. But that is strange how it's still going. It's still growing so strong and no roots at all. Okay, we'll put another Airlayer back on it. get rid of all this old stuff. We'll get some new stuff. Still got weeds and everything growing in it now. Pull that in there. We'll try again. We'll keep trying until the top drive dies, and then we'll know that it ain't gonna work. Just put a bit of this mesh in the bottom. Just try to lock up some of them bottom holes a bit. I know oaks can be, I don't think I need this actually, I'll put some sphagnum moss down there. I know oaks can be tricky to airlayer, especially probably big ones like this, but I'm going to keep trying with it. So we'll dust on a bit of rooting powder. Sphagnum moss. My sphagnum moss now is stuff I bought online. It's dry, so I'm going to give that a soaking. Okay, so I've soaked my sphagnum moss for a while, and I've just drained it a bit. So we will pack that in again. I suppose the first thing I should do is tape this back up. Well, first actually I'll put some around the bottom so I can get into it easy. First time I did it I used sphagnum moss. The second time I tried using some perlite and stuff like that, and some rooted soil and things, but neither have worked so far, so we'll go back to the sphagnum moss again and see how that goes. So I'm just packing some of that around the base so that you can look at the kind of meshing kind of thing, stop it all falling out the holes. Okay, so I will tape it up. Tell by the amount of tape. I should, every time I do it, I should use different colour tape, and then I'll know how many times I've redone it. This is where having lots of trees plays into it, because if I didn't have so many trees, there's no way I would have had the patience to wait for this. By now, I'd have, probably by last year, I would have cut the top off and thrown it away and just worked with the bottom. But because I have so many trees now and I can have so much to do with them, I can just do this, put it to one side and forget about it. But when you've only got a few trees, you tend to want to get on with it and get on with working on them. Okay, so we'll pack that in again a bit more. Probably going to need more actually. trying to make sure I get plenty down this side so that the pot doesn't lean over too much to one side. Yeah, I need a lot more sphagnum moss. I'll go in there, soak another batch. Okay, so I've got another batch done, and what I'll do is I'll just put another bit of root and hormone stuff in there. This is stuff that Adam from Notion Bonsai gave me. So Adam, this is a good test. See how your stuff works. The other stuff that I've been using hasn't been producing roots, so if your stuff works, then we know it's the good stuff. But if it doesn't, I definitely won't be blaming the rooting powder, because this tree is just determined not to send roots, but we'll see. Okay. I'm packing some more now. Okay, seems to be pretty good in there now. So what I'll do now is I'll just top that up with soil, just to stop any birds coming and ripping it all out to make nests with. Just pack that down a bit. I'll just use the back of the chopstick just to push that in. Now, I don't know if I'm going to be able to keep it have patience for another year. If it doesn't grow this year, maybe I will run out of patience and I will cut it off and just start working on the bottom, building the tree out of the bottom half. But we'll see. We'll see how I am when the time comes. Okay, so what I'll do is I'll make up a mix of this root growth stimulant stuff, and we'll give it a soak in that as well, just to try and help it out every chance we can. And yeah, I'll put it this side so that it gets some of the sun this time. Alright, so we'll leave it there. I'll take this out and do it outside, and hopefully next time we pull out this tree we'll have roots. I think I said that the last time, but yeah, it's like I've airlayed so many trees and I've never really had, I've had the odd one fail, but only probably through mistakes of my own. But this one is really becoming a bit of a challenge, but we'll keep going with it. Alright, so we'll leave it there, guys. As always, thanks for watching, and we'll see you on the next one.